I've been seeing a lot of people panic about our running back room and our wide receiver room, and I really want to focus more on our wide receiver room because they're saying it's one of the worst in the league, and I can get why people want to say that. You look at this list here, and there are no major names that are like, oh, that's a top 10 guy in the league. Jerry Jeudy, he's in that 10 to 15, probably 10 to 17 range of top receivers in the league, especially after the season he had last year. But in terms of everything else, there's no proven, talent, or there's no proven production from these guys. Cedric Tillman had his flashes. Jamari Thrash ceiling seems to be very high. We saw Gage. We see a little bit of what Gage has to offer from this past preseason. DeAndre Carter, journeyman, and Isaiah Bond, the ceiling is through the roof. Everyone's so worried about this wide receiver room, and I think one thing that we are forgetting is that Joe Flacco was making everybody eat when he was playing. One thing I know about Joe Flacco is he's not going to be afraid to throw the damn ball. It don't matter if you're Jerry Jeudy. It don't matter if you're David Njoku. It don't matter if you're Cedric Tillman. It don't matter if you're David Bell. It don't matter who you are. 15 is going to sling that thing. And then I also have in the back of my head is there's always one receiver, or there's always a receiver that slips through the cracks that does just have an impact. What if Isaiah Bond is that? What if Isaiah Bond is like Xavier Worthy-esque? And then Cedric Tillman turns into that receiver that we saw in that 3-game stretch with Jameis Winston. And we already know what Jerry Jeudy gonna do. And then if Jamari Thrash is even a fraction, is half as good or 3/4 as good as what he was in a preseason, you mean to tell me that we're gonna be upset with this wide receiver room? So yeah, right now, before there have been no snaps played and we don't get to see what any of these guys look like together with Joe, sure, it looks like one of the worst in the league. But I'm going the optimistic route, and I think the potential is there, and I think one of these guys is going to have the opportunity to really make a jump this year and make a name for themselves.